Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now July 3rd of 2023, and I'm hoping you're all having an amazing week so far as we approach July 4th. We've been going over the box office numbers lately for Indiana Jones 5, and it hasn't really been looking too good for Disney and Lucasfilm, let's just be honest about this. And we're just days away from Mission Impossible 7, aka Dead Reckoning Part 1, that's going to hit theaters on July 12th. That's really going to crush this film without a doubt. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. And let's get right into what's going on here with Kathleen Kennedy and Indiana Jones 5. Now, we know that they are desperately trying to save this film. They are saying whatever they have to say to bring fans into the theater seats. They are constantly running these Applebee's advertisements on television and on the internet and everywhere. Even if you pass by an Applebee's, I've actually seen little promotional stuff for Indiana Jones 5. So that's how desperate they really have gotten, to the point where they have to hit a new low of advertising off of a restaurant like Applebee's. I mean, they couldn't have chosen anything better, I don't know. But moving toward the next big thing here is exactly what Kathleen Kennedy had to unveil about Indy 5 that may come across as a surprise. I'm not really all too shocked because it's all expected to come from Kathleen Kennedy, but she did confirm quite a number of alarming things involving Indy 5 and exactly how it connects to Phoebe Waller-Bridge, since she is a creator. Because she created Fleabag, they allowed her to do a lot of things on this movie and such that a lot of fans came to realize was from Phoebe Waller-Bridge. But let's get into all of this now. Now, with Kathleen Kennedy still promoting Indy 5 while it's out in theaters, to get as many people in the theaters as possible, she recently delivered a big truth about the film to fans. When we were filming the 5th film, I said to Mangold, we need to involve some form of tragedy in Indy's life, since it's been so long since Crystal Skull. So I had the idea of creating a form of loss for Indy in this movie. We did a similar thing with Luke in The Last Jedi. Between himself and his nephew, I ran that over with Johnson, and we both agreed, and we wanted to follow a similar path with this one. It's a great formula to have a new character for a new generation to guide the legacy character into a new world, and we always loved that concept. This was intentional on my end and Phoebe's end, and we ran this over with Phoebe Waller, since she's a wonderful creator and really has done such a great job with Fleabag. We couldn't pass up the chance for her to contribute to the story, so we had Phoebe find a way to execute that form of Indy's life. We feel it's a necessary form of storytelling for an older gentleman at this age, especially for one living in the 60s. Now, let me stop here quick, guys, because there's more. Now, the thing about Phoebe Waller-Bridge that I don't like is that she's just an actress. Why is she interfering with stories? Why is she interfering with the script that belongs to James Mangold? Well, to be very specific with you guys, she never put any effort on paper, alright? Let's be clear. She didn't write any portions of the script. You know, she didn't really sit by a computer or write things up or anything like that. That did not happen. What did happen is that she ran things over with James Mangold and told him to do this, this, or that, and allow it to execute that way or this way. And that's what happened. Very similar to what Phoebe Waller-Bridge did with Bond 25, of a female adopting the 007 moniker and taking that over. That was her idea. And so you had quite a number of things that she called for in Indy 5. Now look, we know that Kathleen Kennedy is always about getting different creators on board, contributing to the story, and doing all these different things for either movies or TV shows, whatever have you. It's why John Watts, by the way, is on board of Skeleton Crew, because Kathy Kennedy wants to Marvelize Star Wars. She wants to make it feel like the Spider-Man movies in that sense, in that tone. But moving to the next big thing here, alright, she goes on to elaborate further. Helena was a great plot piece to move Indy forward and to inspire him. We couldn't just keep Indy as his regular self when he was young, or even how he sorta was in Crystal Skull. He's far older now, and we had to create a tragedy in his life to justify that. Multiple tragedies, mind you. You always need a form of backstory in that sense, and it worked for me, and it worked for Mangold. It took many revisions to accomplish that, and we finally nailed it eventually. Phoebe really came up with so many of the choices of Indy's life and why he is how he is in a good piece of this film. Of course, we both knew going in there would be a group of fans that would dislike this, but you can't listen to fans or anyone to accomplish your own vision and to bring it to life. We had a goal and we completed it. Now, look guys, here's another thing about Kathleen Kennedy is that she obviously does not care about what the fans have to say about their regards or their concerns, I should say, over Indiana Jones as a franchise. Now, we've gone over what the original ending, or at least one of the original endings, consisted of. That was the real main one, even though Mangold really tries to shoot this down. There were a total of 6 that were filmed and or partially filmed, some of which were storyboarded and planned out to become filmed. There were a lot of different ideas that they had, and the one that they chose, I just feel, was rather anticlimactic, alright? It fell flat for me. It didn't really feel like an indie ending that should have been the indie ending of all movies, and so, to put things very clearly, I got to see the movie for free, and I gotta say, I'm not impressed, and that's my honest opinion. That's all I can really say right now. Maybe I'll do a whole video on it, but I'm not impressed with this film, even though I am a die-hard Indiana Jones fan. I never liked Crystal Skull, and I will say, it's kind of funny because there's parts of this movie that are worse than Crystal Skull, but there's parts of this film that are a little bit better than Crystal Skull. That's the best way I can really explain it, by condensing it as short as possible in this video, but we'll talk about that in greater depth later. But what's interesting about this too is what's really going on with Indiana Jones. You know, why are they moving things forward to really kind of allow fans to really get so bent out of shape over this? Because she knew going in that allowing Phoebe to add tragedy to Indy's life was going to upset fans. I mean, she says it right here that going in, we knew that this would, bother a group of fans out there, but we can't listen to them, she says. And that it's very narcissistic behavior. The fact that it's like, this is our story and it's not the fans' opinions to bother us or anything like that. You don't go by the fans, it's our story. And look, at the end of the day, we are the customers. Fans are the literal customers. And look, I had the chance to see it for free. I know a projectionist at one of the movie theaters. I got to watch it actually way above all the audience members, and it was quite empty in my own experience. So I personally can confirm that my theater was only 30% full, roughly, if I really had to guess there, give or take. And this was way at 9:50 p.m. And that just goes to show you that there's not a lot of people that are tuning into this movie, because I think a lot of it did have to do with the July 4th weekend. A lot of people were doing their thing, but it's not just that. A lot of people just have a disinterest with this movie, let's be honest. I mean, a lot of people have issues with the direction of the film. But yeah, anyways guys, I would love to hear your take on this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. From night to moon, we hear them moans again.